My name is Lubna and I'm a mother of a child with autism. And today I just wanted to tell you all about my journey towards autism. The journey that me and my son lived together. The pain, the survival, the hope, It was kind of a mixed roller coaster of emotions. He was born with congenital club feet disorder. And it's very rare, in newborn babies. I was almost like 28 weeks pregnant. I got to know that I have placental calcification. Then I got to know that he is IUGR baby, intrauterine growth retardation. Hassan stayed in ICU, and once he was home, we took him to the most renowned doctor. He was a orthopedic pediatrician in Lahore, and we took him there, and he started using a Ponseti treatment for his club feet. The procedure was going on. I was in direct contact with the doctors in USA and in India. Dr. Ponseti was the pioneer of that method, and I was in direct contact through emails. And I used to send the pictures of my son to them so that I should be knowing if the process the doctor in Pakistan is following is right or wrong. Just wanted to be sure. The doctor in America who I was consulting, he replied me because I sent the pictures of my son, and he told me that it's been 8 months. He should be fine by now if they're using proper Ponseti method. Then I told him that yes, they are following the method. Then he told me, no, there's something. The doctor is not casting him properly. One of his feet is, inward. By the time they have taken 8 months, he should be fine by now. According to the suggestion of a doctor in USA, he suggested put him in a fiber cast. He wrapped the fiber cast around his leg so tightly at that time. In short, he applied the fiber cast for a week. He was very uncomfortable. He used to cry at night. He couldn't sleep. We took him to the doctor. We asked him that he's been very uncomfortable since we had him casted. He told me that this is very normal. When you put the fiber cast, the child is uncomfortable. You don't need to be worried about that. You just go home. We came back home. And after 2 days, he showed more irritable behavior. He used to cry day and night. And after a week, I took him back to the doctor again for my excessive worry, as he said that, you're being more worried. There's nothing in the plasters. The child is perfectly fine. And he just prescribed few medicines. आप लोग जाएं, he will be fine. हम वापस आ गए. And अगले 2 दिन बहुत मुश्किल से गुजरे because he was continuously in pain. He was not able to express. He was just 9 months old at that time. It was Sunday night, and we almost went to all the emergencies in Lahore. Everywhere, wherever we went, they said, this is not an emergency. The child is crying and he's in fiber cast. Then it was early in the morning at 6:30. We went to it was an emergency. We have been calling him all night and he came at 6:30. He just asked me that why you have been, calling me all the night and been wandering in hospital. It's not a big thing. It happens with the kids. And he's fine. Take him back to the home. I said him, I don't care if there is an issue or there is not. I want these plasters taken away. There are 4 or 5 people holding him from his feet and legs. He was crying. And when he started cutting from the machine, the cutting machine, I asked him, Dr. Saab, aap thoda zyada deep incisions nahi de rahe? And he said me, I know my job and I know how to do it. So aap mujhe kindly, aap log support kare aur mujhe mera kaam karne de. And during when he was cutting, Hassan इतना रोया कि उसकी रोते रोते आवाज़ बंद हो गई. It was so loud. उसकी चीखने की आवाज़ों से उसकी एकदम से आवाज़ बंद हो गई. He fainted. And we were all holding him. And when he opened up his plasters, the blood started coming out. And I was just, I didn't know what to say. I said, what is this? I asked the doctor, I couldn't see it. I used to be very small-hearted. And then he said, so his skin was convoluted when he did the plasters because it wrapped so tightly around his legs. He said, when I opened the plaster, the skin ruptured and the bleeding starts coming out. And when I looked at his legs, they were all wounded. पूरी टांगें उसकी गली हुई थी. He just did pyodine लगा के उसको पट्टी कर दी और हमें कहा कि उसे घर ले जाएं. He's fine, he's relaxed. We took him back to the home. After 5-6 hours, I asked my husband that he's not moving. So with some reference, we took him to a doctor's place, very close friend of my husband. So we're, for 1.5 months, his wounds were, washed and he was being taken care. And then I showed him to two more doctors, orthopedics. One was and other was hospital. When they looked at his feet, they asked me what these scars are. मैंने कहा ये scars, I said इसको जख्म हुए थे जिसकी वजह से ये scars हुए. And then he said me that these scars are not wound scars. Somebody did some incisions. And then I told him this happened two months ago. And then he told me these are the incisions done by the machine. I was so upset. I called that doctor. I told him this is what happened. आपने हमें बताया क्यों नहीं अगर आपसे incisions लग गए थे आपसे accidentally ये हो गया. Because right now when I showed him to the doctor, his calf muscles were damaged. And doctor told me there are 10% probability that he will ever walk. And at the age of 1, he went through 3 major surgeries of his club feet. They have put pins in his feet. They have fixed his feet. So some kind of club feet surgery has been done to him. They have elongated his muscles and they have filled artificial muscles in his calf muscles. So these all procedures took like 5 months. One morning when we wake up, he was sitting in my lap and miraculously he just walked, and that was a moment we cannot forget. That was a moment of hope. I believed that he will walk, and he walked because it was not only my belief, it was something that I was seeing in him. He used to stand 50 times a day and he used to fall back. So after, when he started walking and everything was so wow in my life, I was so happy because I left my studies. I was doing bachelor's in behavioral sciences. I just went back to Fatma Janab Women University where I was studying. And I told my professor that I wanted to complete my studies. And there was my doctor. As she knew all the story about Hassan, that why I left my studies. And she said it to me, that Lubna, आप वापस जाओ and get him assessed. I feel like his milestones are delayed. At that time, she couldn't tell me that he might be with autism because she knew about the story of him. So I went to 2 most renowned psychiatrists in Lahore, and the way they told us, they told me that your son is severely autistic plus comorbid mental delays, and this child has no value. आपके बुढ़ापे का सहारा नहीं बनेगा, कभी इसकी शादी नहीं होगी, कभी ये स्कूल नहीं जा सकेगा, ये कभी ज़िंदगी में इंडिपेंडेंट नहीं होगा, बाथरूम नहीं जा सकेगा, अपने हाथ से खाना नहीं खा सकेगा. He is like an object in your home. And this is something, a bad news that I wanted to tell you. And there is a good news as well. And so we asked, what's the good news? So she told me, the good news is, why don't you go for another child? I just started crying hysterically. And there she said to my husband that she needs psychological help. Why don't you start just bringing her from the next Friday? And we came out. And the next 6 months, I was in denial because looking at my beautiful boy, I couldn't believe that he could have autism. it took me 6 months to accept this. That time I was a housewife. I didn't know about autism. That was something very new to me. So I was looking at professionals who can help me. And from everywhere, I got no help. There was no early intervention teams here in Pakistan. I just got him admitted in a school. Where I put him for a month. Within a week, I started observing self-aggressive behaviors in him. He started hitting himself. He started biting himself. He started banging his head on the wall. He never wanted to go to school. So what I did, मैंने उसके बैग में एक रिकॉर्डिंग डिवाइस डाल के उसको बैग को अंदर से स्टिच कर दिया. So nobody can take out the pen from the bag. And after a few days, when I just heard those, recordings, I came to know that one of the teacher in the school, she was actually making fun of him. She was making him to bite on his arm. And then she used to make fun of him. फिर उसने literally, उस recording में I heard कि उसने उसके मुंह पे थप्पड़ मारे हसन के. उसका सर उसने दीवार पे मारा.
डांट पड़ेगी. मेरे तो पता क्या करता है, मेरे हाथ पे ना बात करता है, तो मैं क्या जब करता है ना तो मैं इसका हाथ आगे कर देती हूँ. वो करके कहता है करो, बाइट करो, इधर बाइट करो, बाइट करो, बाइट करो, बाइट करो. अब नहीं करेगा. अब 2 दिन से मैं उठने नहीं दे रही चेयर से. आपने भी ना चेयर से उठने नहीं दे रहा. नहीं है. चलो लगाओ. लो कर दो. ये लो. लेग अंदर करो. चलो. किधर से बैठो. बैठो. अब तुमने मूवीज लगाया ना तो ठीक देखना. डालो इसमें.
And then, I went to the school because the school was run by a mother of a child with autism. I just confronted her. I asked her, my son is physically abused in your school. Then she told me that it can never happen within the premises of the school because we love kids. Because I have my own son. And then I told her, I have a proof. I have a recording of the physical abuse and the bullying that was done with my son. She called the teacher after hearing the recording. She was upset that I might create some chaos. इसका तो future तबाह हो जाएगा. लोग क्या कहेंगे, इसकी आखिरी गलती समझ के इसको माफ़ कर दें. This happened with my son and ये और बच्चों के साथ भी होता होगा. Then she said, कि एक टीचर की वजह से आप मेरे सारे स्टाफ को जनरलाइज ना करें. आई विल फायर दिस टीचर एंड एवरीथिंग विल बी फाइन. स्कूल के इस इंसिडेंट के बाद हसन ने अपने आप को 10-10 घंटों के लिए मारना शुरू कर दिया. अपने आप को मुंह पे थप्पड़ मारना, अपने आप को स्क्रैच करना, अपने आप को बाइट करना, that was something I was not able to manage because I was not a professional. I was just a mother who has some knowledge of what is autism and is newly diagnosed mother. So it was so hard for me to take care of him. I used to hold him. When I used to look at him, he used to be like an object in a corner. He used to rock like this. He used to, move his fingers like this, and all the day he keep on watching his fingers. There was zero eye contact. He was not responding to any of my verbal commands. I used to call his name. He was not responding to me. And 6 घंटे गुजर गए, 10 घंटे गुजर गए. He's sitting there, he's urinating there, he's pooping there. And I didn't know what I have to do. And he was not willing to move an inch from that corner. I started modeling him. I started mimicking him. Whatever he used to do, जो भी कर रहा था. If he was rocking, मैं उसके साथ बैठ के घंटों rock करती रहती थी. He used to spin the things. मैं भी उसके साथ बैठ के चीज़ें spin करती थी. And during this phase, like it took me 6 months, I used to copy him. I used to walk like he's walking. I used to eat like he's eating. So I was behaving like him, the way he is doing. Because children with autism, they don't have an eye contact. And sometimes there is a lack of eye contact. We always used to have 2 things, because one thing, his favorite thing he used to have, another thing I used to hold. जो मैंने उसको toy दिया, that was not functioning, and the toy that I was carrying was functioning. So he looked at me and he wanted to have the top that I was playing, and the first meaningful eye contact I got from him. Actually, to bring him to my own world, I somehow jumped into his world. And then, from that day, a kind of spontaneous reaction started coming out. The hopelessness that was inculcated, it came out as a ray of hope. And I was so happy to see him smiling and giggling. Though it was difficult, very difficult for me. Because after the school incident, I planned that I won't be sending him to any school, any institution, no matter what. So I planned to run his home program. And because I got some training in ABA, so I was doing his speech therapy, I was doing his ABA therapy, I was doing the Sunrise program. So I was using all the techniques. I took all the good things from all the program and I made his own program. And he was progressing on that. I was not aware of any professional trainings in Pakistan. So that was a phase. I decided that I have to be in this field. If I want to help him, if I want to help my son, I have to make it my own field. And then I decided, I did my master's in psychology in a regular university. I was hired as a director project. And we decided that we will open up an autism center in Pakistan. I got to know about a program that was called Sunrise program. And it was being conducted in America. And I just applied for the scholarship. And I got a scholarship in that program. After that, through university, I got so much support. They sent me to the Sunrise program. They sent me to the Teach program in North Carolina. I just got a chance to improve my knowledge, to have some more skills, so I can help my son and I can help other kids on spectrum and other learning challenges. The reason that I shared the story is that I wanted to create awareness about autism, that it is not a disability, it's just a child, it's just a way of looking at things differently. They are different. They learn differently, they see things differently, they do things differently. The life of a parent of a child with autism is very challenging. आप पार्टीज पे नहीं जा सकते, आप सोशल गैदरिंग्स पे नहीं जा सकते, आप रेस्टोरेंट जाते हैं तो वो कहते हैं आप अपने बच्चे को बाहर ले जाएं, ये तो कुर्सियों पे चढ़ रहा है, तो टेबल पे खड़ा हो गया. आप सिनेमा जाते हैं तो वो कहते हैं बच्चे को बाहर ले, ही इज़ जस्ट मेकिंग सम नॉइज. All the kids who are talking, they are not doing anything else. But if a child is non-verbal and he's showing some inappropriate behavior, that child is supposed to go back. So we as a society, We have to give them an opportunity so that they can be the part of the community. We have to include them. And inclusion comes when we accept their existence. Like my son, right now, he's totally socially interactive child. He loves music. He loves to go to parties. वो अपने एज के बच्चों के साथ खेलना पसंद करता है. उसे लाउड नॉइज़ से कोई घबराहट नहीं होती. वो पार्क्स भी जाता है, वो सिनेमा भी जाता है, वो रेस्टोरेंट में हमारे साथ डाइन आउट भी करता है. वो सब कुछ कर रहा है जो आज से 4 साल पहले ये प्रेडिक्ट किया गया था कि वो ऐसा कुछ नहीं करेगा. तो मेरी आप सबसे ये गुजारिश है, मैं ये नहीं कह रही कि प्रोफेशनल्स आर रॉन्ग और समथिंग लाइक, आई एम अ प्रोफेशनल टू, लेकिन मैं आप सबसे सिर्फ ये कहना चाहती हूँ कि जस्ट बिलीव इन योर चिल्ड्रन. उन पे यकीन करें. Doesn't matter if they're non-verbal, doesn't matter if they cannot do something. How about looking at something that they can do and they can do the best of it? You know, my vision for the children with autism spectrum or for my son is that I wanted to make him functional in living skills, and I wanted to identify one unique ability in him so that I can give him a platform so that he can channelize himself positively in that way. If, you know, यहाँ पे मैंने क्या देखा है पाकिस्तान में, in most of the schools, parents are emphasizing on academic skills, that मेरा बच्चा पढ़ता क्यों नहीं है. But I emphasize that that child can be a musician, that child can be a cook, that child can be a gardener, the child can be a model, anything. You just name it. You have to identify that one unique ability in that child. जो मैं बात कर रही हूँ, एक educated community can understand this thing. लेकिन I have seen, I have heard kids, लोग autism के बच्चों को गांव में दरख्त के साथ बांध देते हैं, कहते हैं कि ये पागल है बच्चा, ये तो साईं है, अल्लाह लोग है. इफ़ यू थिंक दैट ये बच्चा नहीं कर सकता तो वो बच्चा नहीं कर सकता. योर बिलीफ विल टेक द चाइल्ड टू अ स्टेज वेयर यू नो यू वांटेड टू सी हिम, बिकॉज आपका जो बिलीफ है उस बच्चे को कॉन्फिडेंस देता है. वी हैव टू शो आवर एक्सेप्टेंस टूवर्ड्स द किड्स विद ऑटिज्म स्पेक्ट्रम. वी हैव टू शो आवर रिस्पेक्ट टू स्पेशल किड्स अराउंड अस. आवर एक्सेप्टेंस विल ब्रिंग द चेंज. एट द एंड, I wanted to give a message to all the parents who are listening to me, जिनके बच्चों को autism, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome के साथ वो diagnose हुए हैं, जिसकी वजह से आप सब बहुत परेशान हैं. We are the chosen one. God has chosen us to take care of the angels. We don't have to be answerable to anything for the kids we have, and we have to love them. We have to have unconditional love for them. And I just request you all कि आप प्लीज़ अपने बच्चों से रिलेटेड विजिलेंट रहें. जब मैंने हसन के साथ स्टार्ट किया, जब मुझे पता लगा उसको ऑटिज़म है, तो I was devastated. I lost the hope. I was depressed. After Hassan, I came to know कि our ability to think and execute is a blessing. We have been given a whole body is a blessing. My ability to speak is a blessing. My ability to function is a blessing. थोड़ी देर के लिए आप लोग होपलेस हो भी जाएं, तो remember there is always a hope. हमें अपने बच्चों पे यकीन करना है. We have to provide them unconditional love and support so that we can support them. हम उनकी हेल्प कर सकें कि whatever they wanted to do differently, we just support them differently.
कहता नहीं कुछ मैं सुनता सभी हूँ, चाहत के सपने बुनता सभी हूँ। कितनी मोहब्बत से ये तितलियाँ तो होके बैठी है मेरे हाथ पे। दिन में वो चिड़िया रहे साथ में, और चमकता सा जुगनू मिले रात में।
ये क्यों अच्छे हैं, इंसानों से हैं ये जुदा, ये मेरी मोहब्बत तो उनके लिए है जज़ा। कहता नहीं कुछ मैं सुनता सभी हूँ, चाहत के सपने बुनता सभी हूँ। न दिल में शिकवा न रंजिश कोई भी है, न है तो शिकायत न बंदिश कोई भी है। कहता नहीं कुछ मैं सुनता सभी हूँ, चाहत के सपने बुनता सभी हूँ।